Just the least terrible of all terrible options we have in Syria? Because you supported the president's plan to arm the rebels.
Well, first of all, you have to realize it's not whether we want to get involved. We are involved. I realize we're war weary, but ISIS is not war weary. Al-Qaeda is not war weary. Islamic terror has been at war with us since 1993 when they tried taking down the Twin Towers the first time. Right. So I don't know why. I mean, I have no idea why these people want to destroy the modern world, but that's their aim. And the horrors, the brutality, the evil that is, certainly ISIS. Who knows about this? But
does this stop it, though? Does arming, who are we arming in?
How are we going to stop it? When I take a look at it, and again, I'm not a military expert, but back in 2007, the surge, there were 6,000 to 8,000 members of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. Right. We had employed about 100,000 Sunnis were working with us, about 100,000 Iraqi security forces. We had 160,000 troops on the ground.
Are you saying that's what we need to do now?
No, what I'm saying is that's what it took to defeat 6,000 to 8,000. Now we got about 31,000. They're better equipped, better trained. I think we're going to have to, certainly employ all the states in the area. They absolutely have to step up the plate. They've got to be not only just lip service coalition members. They actually have to provide military support. They've got to provide financial support.
We've got boots on the ground right now. Do we need to put in more boots on the ground?
My guess, if you listen to generals, we will. And I think what the president's got to do is he's first got to explain to the American people why ISIS, why Islamic terror represents a threat to America. He's got to do that on an ongoing basis. We can't bury our head in the sand on this thing. And then he's got to lay out truthfully, forthright with the American public, what it's going to take to eventually defeat this.
I agree with the senator that they have declared war on Western civilization, and we're war weary, but they're not. But do you not get a sense that a lot of people in Washington are just throwing darts up against the wall, trying to pick a strategy?
Well, I get a sense from speaking to people in Washington that we're not being told the full picture yet. We're going to be there a long time, perhaps as long as a decade. We have a very unreliable ally to the north of Syria in Turkey. I would like to ask you, as a member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, what do you think the prospects are for the Turks allowing us to use our vehicles, our planes on the ground in Incirlik, the Air Force base in Turkey, for military measures in Iraq and perhaps Syria? What do you think the odds of that happening?
Listen, not looking good. I mean, that's pretty disappointing that they basically took that air base off limits in terms of us using it. So that's not a good sign. But President Obama is right. This is their war. The Arab states are in greater danger than the United States really is, but we're also in danger. So we need to recognize that.
So how do we force them to get more involved? How do we force them to get more involved?
We have to be 100% committed. Here's my problem with the president's speech. He lays out the goal: degrade and ultimately destroy ISIS. He said, our safety, our security depends on our willingness to do what it takes to keep this nation safe. Right. Now, what he really meant was do what it takes up to a point. That's not very inspiring because he's taken options off the table.